Hi everyone, we're back again with part 3 with our IMB Drum Majors and the roundtable discussion that we're doing. So, in the last 2 parts, you learned about each of their backgrounds, you learned about their performances this season, traditions, and so much more. So, we're going to round up this discussion on why they joined marching band and how their role as drum major came about. So, let's start off with Grant. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to join collegiate marching.
Yeah, so when I first started to look at colleges, I actually did not have marching band on my radar at all. I did not march in high school at all. I never really thought about marching in any capacity. But whenever I was applying for schools, I actually wanted to be a minor in music. So when I applied to the University of South Alabama and I did my audition, I actually had to do that over Skype in the spring of my senior year because I was in baseball season, so I couldn't go to campus and do my audition. When I auditioned there, after I auditioned, they asked me, like, have you ever thought about doing marching band ever? I was like, no, I've thought about it, but never in college ever. And they said, well, like, we would love for you to be part of the marching band. You know, kind of teach you how to march, and we'd love to have you as a part of the band. So I actually I accepted the opportunity to be part of the marching band, and actually at the University of South Alabama, we give all of our students scholarships to march. So that was also a big thing that helped, decide to go to South was their band program and their scholarship offer was a great opportunity. So I ended up joining the marching band. I learned how to play mellophone and learned how to march in that first couple weeks of school and through band camp and everything. And it was just an incredible experience. I'm very thankful that I joined the marching band. It's brought me a lot of incredible experiences like this one, and also to become a drum major eventually.
For me, I remember really vividly my campus visit to OU was right before my senior year of high school started. I mean, it was the first day of band camp that I showed up, and I was doing my general campus tour, and I heard you could hear it in the distance. The Pride was doing their morning rehearsal block. I was like, that is cool. And then as the tour progressed, I ended up going through the music building, talking to a lot of the directors, and the Pride was doing a lot of their midday sectional work at this point in time. So I'm walking through the School of Music. I'm seeing the tubas have a sectional led by our head director, Mr. Britt. I'm watching the mellophones have their sectional led by one of the graduate assistants. And that was kind of it. I saw everybody checking out uniforms. I saw everything going on that goes on during a normal band camp week. And I kind of realized, I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I'm looking for, because I felt so welcomed. Everyone was like, hey, you're coming here, like, you should totally do the marching band. I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm so glad that I did this. I was able to find a community of people that accepted me for who I was, and helped provide some incredible opportunities, incredible places to go and travel, and things that are happening like this, where even in the middle of the darkness that 2020 has been, this stuff like this has been kind of a huge bright spot. So I'm really thankful that being in the Pride of Oklahoma and doing marching band in college has brought me a lot of those great things.
Hey everybody, my name is Jawada, and I actually started playing the flute when I was 4 years old, and then I didn't do marching band in high school, but I did like concert band. So when I got to college, I was like, I want to do marching band, so I was able to join marching band, and it was fun. I was able to learn how to march. I had to learn how to play the piccolo, so that was interesting and fun, and it was just an overall experience. I got to meet new people, travel, and then gain new experiences, as well as have these opportunities. And it was just all around fun. And I became drum major because I also wanted to advance more of my leadership skills, and then showcase that, as well as help the band progress in a different way, like just a different light. And Old Dominion University is so great, so diverse, and I love it.
So I joined Millersville's marching band because marching band has always been a part of my life. It's always been a part of my career. From my house, I could always hear my high school's marching band. I joined my school's marching band when I was 12 years old in middle school. Loved it. I was drum major in middle school and high school, and I knew that I couldn't do another 4 years of school without being a part of a marching band. So when I was looking around at college, at different colleges, I had actually looked at the incomparable Golden Rams and the Temple Owls, and I was so in love with their marching bands. but I came to Millersville and I was like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be making music for the next 4 years. And I've fallen in love with them and their music program ever since. And honestly, just being a part of a collegiate marching band, like it's been said previously, just being able to have such amazing opportunities like this has been fantastic. Like these are the memories that I love to make. These are the things that I look forward to every year. And yeah, it's just an overall fantastic experience.
Yeah, having done high school band for 5 years, it was just, I definitely thought that I wanted to. And my band in high school was around 100, 120, so we were a decent size. But then when I was touring Clemson and I visited the band and I got to hear 350 people playing all at once, and it was just astounding to me what that could be. And I had never really thought about just a bigger band or what things would be on the other side because, in college, there's a lot less people that are forced into it or aren't doing it because they love it. So it was more people, and everybody else wanted the same thing that you did, which was just to make music and have a good time together. So once I really got in and got a feel for what Clemson's band and Tiger Band would be, it was a no-brainer for me, and I had to do it.
Yeah, just like other people, I did marching band all through high school. It was really like a big part of my life. We were actually pretty small. We had about 30 people my freshman year. So looking at all the state universities, they were huge compared to us. I mean, ASU was just giant. It was crazy to think about. I took a tour to NAU and, I saw the Sky Dome. That building is crazy. I just knew I wanted to perform in there. And ultimately, the environment up here in Flagstaff won me over, but I always knew I wanted to do collegiate marching band. If I was going to be in school, I had to be in band. But I had actually marched trumpet in high school and decided to take a risk and do piccolo for NAU, and then ended up being the section leader and, took another risk and ended up being the drum major. So here I am.
Definitely the best way to get through college experience. You don't know what you'll put yourself into, especially people out there, if they're nervous about joining band or thinking about anything like that, and you're like, I don't know whether to do it. Like, take the risk. It's so worth it. Definitely makes the collegiate experience 10 times better than it ever would be. So it's pretty obvious drum majors and marching band go hand in hand. Can't really have one without the other. So I want to hear from you guys, what made you decide to try out for drum major, anything along those lines, because I've known from the past that I've heard it's not always common you step into college knowing that you want to be the drum major initially. You're just like, oh, let's hear for a good time and let's see what happens. So I want to hear your guys' stories on that. So let's go ahead and start off with Samantha.
I would say my journey to becoming drum major was honestly completely opposite of that. I joined marching band in 6th grade. I went to a really small high school that we only had a maximum of 30 members in our band in all of the years that I was there. And I knew I wanted to go to a school that had a big band, and I knew that needed to be a part of my experience, because having been a drum major at that point for 3 years, I knew I needed to do that in college. And I went after I decided Temple's where I'm going to be, that's where my heart is. I went to the Temple versus Penn State game in 2015. And my whole family is all Penn State fans up until I went to Temple. And Temple won that game. I mean, they really beat Penn State, and it was an incredible experience to say that I was in the stadium that day. And it ended up being one of Temple's best seasons, like in the past, very many years. College game day came, and I followed Temple just religiously that year, and I knew, I need to be drum major of this band. So I came to Temple as a music performance major, and I was very fortunate that by my sophomore year, I was clarinet section leader, and I was one of the youngest members on our leadership staff. And by our sophomore year, you're allowed to audition for drum major, and I had already known by the second I stepped on that field that was the goal. That's what I needed to accomplish. And I became assistant drum major my junior year, and then I've been drum major the past 2 years, and it has been absolutely the greatest opportunity. It is everything that I dreamed it would be to be a drum major of a Division I marching band. And I would encourage anybody to do it if you aspire to do that, if you aspire to lead and teach others, why marching band is one of the greatest experiences that you can be a part of, especially on the collegiate level. I absolutely encourage everybody to do that because it's worth all of the time and all the commitment and and all of the struggle, but all of the amazing experiences that come with it.
I became, back in high school, I started marching band my freshman year in high school. It wasn't until my junior year where drum major auditions were happening, and we had just began our transition from core style to more traditional style of high stepping marching. And at that point, like, my friend had told me I should go out for drum major. I was not interested at all to do it. It just did not look really too appealing. You gotta eat last, you gotta do this last, you gotta make sure the band is this, you gotta put yourself in front of the band. And I was all for that, but I thought somebody else would fit it better. It wasn't until like the actual audition process came and went, I was like, I decided to do it. I liked it. I became drum major with 2 other of my friends. And from then on, it was just amazing. Before coming to FAMU, I had 2 directors in both different times of my high school career, Dante Douglas and Charles Moore, both FAMU grads, and seeing and hearing everything from what they experienced at FAMU, I just had to see the school. I had to go there myself. Just watching the FAMU band perform alone on YouTube was just like amazing. And then seeing them in person at the Florida Classic 2016. Yeah, 2016, I had to go there. And then coming to FAMU, I marched 2 years. It wasn't until that sophomore year I tried out for drum major. And like, I really wanted the opportunity to gain that knowledge that I learned in my high school senior year. Like, you learn so much from being in front of the band instead of being in the band. The perspective change is completely different. When you look at when you're on that podium standing in front of a 250-piece band versus being in that 250-piece band playing, it's a completely different story. I really just want to continue that legacy that the FAMU Drum Major had, and within my 2 years I feel like I'm getting pretty close.
Yeah, so my high school and college experience both kind of ended up the same way. I marched for 2 years, and then junior year I tried out for drum major. I wasn't a section leader or anything like that. Tried out junior year and was a drum major for 2 years. That was high school and that was college. I just enjoyed being a drum major in high school. I thought I was pretty good at it, nobody ever told me otherwise. So I was like, well, I guess college, let's go for it again. And it really helped because the year before me, one of my K-side brothers was in my section. He was a trombone player, but then he became drum major. And so that was really cool to kind of have that connection with him. And that connection, in K-side. And then I ended up, becoming drum major, and then my assistant drum major and my co-drum major's assistant drum major are both in K-side. So 3 out of the 4 drum majors this past year we were all K-side brothers, which is, it's cool. It's kind of unheard of, at least at Texas Tech. And it's just, I don't know, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy leading with people that, mean a lot to me and that I learn from, both in a marching band experience and in, life. And so, for me, becoming drum major and continuing to be drum major and helping other people become drum majors, it's just it's kind of leading them into a secret club, that's just, hey, this is really cool. I think you'll be really good at this. And so that's just kind of how I got into it. And that's how I try to, lead people that want to also be in that, secret club, quote unquote, kind of get them into that also.
Hi everyone, me again. So in high school, the most I was of anything was section leader, and then I graduated. It was really still a fun experience. And then going to UTEP, first starting out as a freshman, like the thing I just wanted to do the most was like absorb like all this new information and just like make all these connections as I could, and then to hopefully one day like get in a leadership position and help others like to see that as well. And then like my sophomore year, I became section leader, and that was a really good experience for me, helping me learn how to like teach and like lead a sectional, of how to properly run it. And then near like the end of the spring semester going into my junior year, we had auditions, and I knew that I wanted to try out for drum major, but I was still kind of like a little on the fence about it. Like, I don't know if I'll be like good enough for it. I don't know if they'll like want to take a chance on me, but why not just go ahead and try it? And luckily I ended up getting it, and I was ecstatic, over the moon about it. And then my other two drum majors, they're also really, really great, fantastic musicians as well. So I'm lucky that I get to work with them and serve in this kind of leadership position. Yeah, the number one reason that I wanted to be a drum major was to lead and serve in like a broader capacity. And I had never been, like up until that point, I had never been like in front of an ensemble of that size before. And I knew that that was something I would eventually have to like get used to, because like I'm a music education major. Like you have to be used to being in front of lots of people, conducting them, leading them. And I'm just really, really grateful for getting that opportunity. And something that I find really cool, this kind of started around like last year, and we've been kind of keeping it a tradition. We have 3 drum majors in total, and 2 of them are in Kappa Kappa Psi. And this year, me and another brother that are drum majors, we're in Kappa Kappa Psi. So I'm like, hey, let's keep this going. This is cool. You know, so just a little cherry on top of the cake right there. But that's really the main reason I became a drum major, just to lead and serve in a broader capacity. And it's been really fun so far.
I would say that my story is very similar to Chris as well. Coming into my freshman year, I had no intention whatsoever of becoming drum major. That was not on my radar at all. I just joined marching band in college because I had done it throughout high school. I was section leader in high school. I was in leadership in high school as well, and just really enjoyed the band atmosphere, and a lot of my friends were in band as well. I tried conducting on a podium for the first time once during high school, and it absolutely terrified me. So you could see why that becoming a drum major was not on the forefront of my mind coming into college. But as I went through my freshman season, I became very close with the 2 drum majors that year, and kind of just talked to them a little bit about what it was like to be a drum major. And I noticed that a lot of the drum major role, at least at ASU, is 5 to 10% of it is conducting, and the rest of it is you have to be a good communicator, you have to make copies of music, you have to transport equipment. It's a lot of different roles for the drum major role. It's not just going up on a podium and conducting the band. There's a lot of logistics that we have to deal with. And so I really, really enjoy serving the band in high school, and that was something that I started to feel that I missed my freshman year when I wasn't in that kind of position. So I felt inclined to join KSI like a lot of the other people here. And I eventually learned how to conduct, and I auditioned to become drum major. Ultimately, I think my 2 biggest things for becoming drum major is serving the band, helping the band become the greatest version of itself that it can be, and teaching other people how to become better leaders and better musicians. Those are probably 2 of my most favorite activities of being a drum major.
Hi everyone, Michael Antonacci again. It's great to be back for part 3. Before I start, I'm going to give a quick shout out to my brothers in Kappa Kappa Psi, AA, and MLITB, to my sisters in Tau Beta Sigma. My journey through leadership in general, and especially becoming a drum major, was certainly not natural. I'm actually someone with autism, so I grew up struggling with social connection. I grew up struggling with making friends, reading social cues, and really figuring out how people work. So leadership is a really daunting idea for someone with autism when you're really trying to navigate that. But doing marching band all through high school, leadership was something I knew I was really aspiring to. I've spent many years studying leadership, not just in music, but out of music, reading a lot of books on leadership and working in teams, working with people, whether it's in business or music or et cetera, et cetera. But I've come to believe more than anything that leadership is service. What drives my leadership is serving my band. A band that has given such a great deal to me from when I was very young, watching my older sister come to Westchester and just hearing this group that inspired me and changed my life. Putting on my uniform for the first time and just being in absolute tears because just by the sheer honor of wearing that uniform, to now leading this group, giving back to a band that has given me so much really drives my leadership. So my journey to becoming a drum major now for the first time of this group, and my entire journey in marching band has been giving back to people. Giving back to the people, because in music and especially in marching band, it's really the people that we're around that make what we do so great. So yeah, giving back, serving is really what drove me to becoming a drum major.
I always wanted to be musically inclined, and then I didn't do high school marching band, so I definitely wanted to do college. And I was always growing up at my uncle's school, Virginia State University, watching their marching bands and everything. And yeah, that was just really cool. So I wanted to always become like a drum major and be in the marching band. And then I wanted the full experience because I never did marching band. So college was my ultimate last opportunity to actually have the opportunity. So I wanted to actually get that done. And my school, it's a little different because I thought most schools are kind of like that, but we do more twirling. So we do more tricks and more performing rather than conducting. So that was like, I want to do that. Like, oh my God, that skill was like what they just did. Like, did y'all just see that? So I wanted to like be able to do that. And it's been such a great journey, and I learned a new skill, and I can help others learn that as well.
I loved hearing about all of your all's journeys so much. I definitely appreciate you guys coming to talk with me so much because I would have never known all of these different backgrounds. I don't come from playing instruments or anything like that. So my only interaction with the marching band was my 4 years in college, and with drum majors, they became my best friends the first couple years because I was the only featured twirler here. So I was like, okay, we can become friends easily. Like we're around the same part for sectionals, you know, not like I have a 50-person section behind me, anything like that. So I loved twirling with them. I loved creating new tricks with them and everything like that. So I appreciate you guys talking to me so much. I am happy that your journeys led you here with me today, so then we could bring all of your stories out to the rest of the world, so then they can hear the incredible things that they can do, and hopefully they can be inspired by all you guys just like I am. So thank you for joining me for the first Intercollegiate Marching Band Drum Major Roundtable discussion. For other great marching arts, make sure you check out Style Plus TV. You can find them on social media at styleplus_band, and you'll want to follow Intercollegiate MB on social media, as well as the rest of all of these drum majors bands, which will be listed on the screen so you guys can know exactly where to go to find them and stay up to tune with everything that they're going to be doing in the coming years. So again, thank you all so much. I hope to talk to all of you soon. Bye.